talked about my goat farm much, on my channel too much. What I'm actually doing, I could easily go out and buy goats and make the herd bigger and start selling and everything, but all my goats are Alpine and they're all registered. They're registered, those bucks, these three here, and they come from a herd that is high production in milk. That's why I have these goats. Yeah, RJ. It's RJ. Hello, RJ. So the goats, I mean, they can come with papers, but they come from a herd that is registered, I should say, and they're very, very good goats. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, I know there's a lot of different kinds out there, Boer, Nubians, and what have you. These are Alpine goats, and so that's why I'm sticking with these Alpines, because they come from a very, very good herd, and their offspring are also going to be from that herd, because there's just I don't breed them with just some random buck. It comes from that farm or somebody that she knows that the goat is registered, even though maybe these aren't, I'm not registering them maybe, but they come from that herd. And so the reason I'm doing that is because while they stay healthier, there's a couple reasons they stay healthier. You're not bringing in other goats from different random herds that are they could have disease. So I keep these separated. They're going to be within themselves. So it is a slow process. These three are bred. Hopefully they will have twins or triplets even. That'd be great. But twins at least. So these three will produce 6, and some obviously will be male, and they will end up going down the road at a certain age, probably 6 months, and but the girls I'll keep, so the herd will start growing. I've got, it takes a little time, but the following year I'll have over 10 or maybe more, and then you just start selling them, and that's how it's going to grow. So my plan is to have 20 to 25 breeding goats, does, and the bucks I'm not, really, these two were our first 2 goats, and that's why I'm here really. But they are a good looking buck. Both of them are really good looking bucks, and I'll see where they come into play down the road. Sorry for the light. If one of the they might be able to breed one of the offspring. They're not related. I don't go that route. I know that there is crossbreeding, but as long as they're not brother sister kind of thing, they can be used, and I will use them. They're very good bucks, but eventually they have to go, because they eventually will be the father of a lot of goats in here, so they have to go. But then you keep one, or you buy one, a buck that's not related. So that's how that has to work. But as far as the females go, the does, they can produce, you know, a higher paying amount of money goat because of, you know, the breed. And if they can produce over a gallon of milk a day, you know, you can sell them, you know, for a pretty good price to dairy farms up here in Canada, up north in Canada, or, you know, there's a lot of goat herds around, you know, the farms, so they'll buy them. You know, a good producing goat. At first I thought maybe I could just have, you know, just have their babies, milk them till they don't need the milk anymore, and then dry them off. But, you know, since then I've learned that you should milk them so that you can prove to dairy farms that they're producing, you know, how much milk they're producing a day, and they can bring a higher price that way. You know, if this goat produced, you know, over a gallon a day or a gallon a day, you know, they like that. As long as it's over a gallon or over, you know, they're good with that. And then, you know, you'll have bucks that are born, and, you know, they produce a little money, but it's not as much as the does. Now, if the buck was, you know, you could prove it was registered or whatever, and it was a good buck that was producing goats that are producing goats that produce a gallon over milk a day, then the buck could be sold for more money. You know, $500 to $1,000 for a goat, for a buck that produces, or is, you know, having offspring that is, you know, making nice goats. That's all you have to do, is you have to prove it, though. You could show people and say, you know, this farm might say, you know, who's the father? Well, you say this buck. Well, they might want that buck. They'll pay some good bucks for it, so they can go up to a farm and breed some of their goats, and that's how that goes. So that's my plan on. That's why I have these goats. It's just the start of my farm on the goat side of it. You know, actually everything is just starting up. You know, these tractors and my little Massey. You know, all those potatoes and all that kind of stuff. It's all started last year. You know, continues this year. There'll be more goats in here this coming year, and then again, and production of potatoes will go up. It's exciting to me. So this video is about that, my goat herd, why I'm doing it this way. You know, there's just different aspects to farming, and you can be a crop farmer. I don't find that all that satisfying just to have crops. I like the idea, you know what I mean. I want to have the potatoes and vegetables. That's my crop side of it. But I want to have the animal aspect of the farm, and that's the goats. I like taking care of them. I find them a lot easier. They're very destructive, but they're easy to maintain, I should say. You know, if you're interested in that part of the farm, you'll see a lot of goats here eventually, and see how we use this barn, you know, in production of them. You know, how this barn and that one, you know, where I walk through over there, that'll be this old part here. I'll show you here. All this, there'll be pens over here eventually. Just right now, it's just the way it is because they only have these few. And then, see, this door opens, and, you know, there can be a walkway. But here it is. It's very big also. There's a bulldozer and a big backhoe in here right now. But this is all going to change too, eventually, for goats. And then over there's another part. As you can see, that combine I showed in one video. That's another part of the barn. And you can actually, we're going to take this part of the wall out, and then they'll be able to walk through. There'll be a walkway there. so that you know, we can use this. The whole barn will be together then. You know, it's not this barn, that barn. This is already together. It just has a doorway, but it's fine. It's nice in that respect. Up here, we'll have a. This is all going to be closed off. This stairway up to the hay loft. You know, this is just a wonderful barn, an old wonderful barn. You come up the stairs. You know, there's my trailer. And see, we have lumber, and it's all going to be used for different things. Right now, I moved that staircase so I could put the trailer in here. But this barn is unique because you not only have this floor, but there's another stairway, and it's really kind of cool up there. And there's another third floor. So, well, this is the floor. This is all going to be closed, the whole thing here. And we're building a doorway here. This will all be closed off, this whole area here. And then there will be a door here. And then when we have hay up here, we just throw it down the stairs to feed the goats. But then you can close the door so the cold air can't go down from up here, or the hot air, or the warmer air, I should say, from the goats doesn't escape coming up here. It'll stay down there where the goats are. So yeah, this has all been rebuilt up here. You can see it's all new wood up there, all new. This barn may be old, but it's pretty sturdy. I'm at the wholesaler who sells me my stuff. Like a secret location kind of thing, right? I can't give my secret away, but here I am. I'm buying onions, and I'm buying another 200 pounds. Just 'cause I have the white potatoes already, but I wanted a couple of extra 100 pounds to have just in case. So I bought 50 pounds of onions and 200 pounds of potatoes, white ones. So I'm here. I'm really happy that I found this place, because I can supply my customers now when I don't have any all year round. They have them all year. You know, they buy them from, you know, out west and everything, you know, during the off season here. And this company said that they'll be interested in buying my potatoes and stuff like that when I have extra. Isn't that wonderful? A very, very wonderful thing. So, and they will buy New York potatoes. But there's a difference. He said New York potatoes are darker, kind of like has a, I don't know, they're not as bright red as the ones that you can buy out west, he said. They still will buy them, and they just number twos. Number two. And so, but the flavor is good, but they still have to be number two, because the outside of the potato looks rough. And they do. They have, they're very dark, or like a really rustic kind of look to them, instead of bright red. So that's what he has to call number twos. But still, they'll buy them, you know, wholesale, you know, in quantity. So I can bring a whole load out here, and they'll buy them. All right. Anyway, I'm here, and oh, I got somebody coming. Okay. Well, here I'm back at the farm after going to Fort Byron to pick up onions and potatoes. I'm actually talking here, but the wind And the reason I'm doing this now like this, because the wind was very, very terrible here. I'm explaining that right now in this video, that the wind was so bad. You can see it behind me up in the clouds. It looked just like a hurricane was coming, or a tornado. And in the background here, you can also see, you know, look how muddy it is. That's what I'm saying here in the video. So that's why I'm recording a voiceover, because it was just so muddy. And the wind was, you can see those clouds. The wind just came up, and you couldn't even hear it. You know, I was trying to edit this video, all you could hear was the whistling through the camera, and you couldn't even hear hardly anything, just some of the tractor noise. But here you can see how muddy it is. And going to the back of the barn where the well is, it's just sloppy mud, because it turned to be, excuse me, it turned around 50 degrees today in this right here. And now with that right here especially, the wind was so fierce. I mean, it was like, you know, the sky like that right there. It just was crazy looking. But anyway, so I had washed these potatoes that you see me picking up, and there's a well to the right that, you know, I go and pump water out of. And by the way, next year there will be water into the barn, and we'll be doing these potatoes across the street in a Morton building, and we'll be washing them all in there and grading them with graders that we bought. But for this year, we had, you know, just starting out, I just use a small pump and you know, wash them in the bucket there, and, you know, I take them to the customer. But in the earlier part of the video, I'm explaining to you, I cut a lot of it out because I was just rambling, and I realized I was just rambling about things. But the Alpine goats, they're oh, my dog, sorry. They're a very popular goat for milking. They usually produce with an Alpine and a Nubian goat. They're usually the highest producing for milk in the goat area. You know, over usually a gallon and a half. Some of them do. And the dairy farms around in Canada, if you're not familiar, some of those farms up there are fairly large, milking a few thousand goats at a, you know, in some of the farms, and they'll buy goats down here as long as they're good producers, and that's what my goal is, to do that. But here again, I'm driving back up towards the truck, and the Massey goes through this mud fairly easily. It's heavy enough to go through the mud, and yeah, it's not that heavy where it sinks through. So the tractor and the bucket and the backhoe that's on there now, oh gosh, the backhoe weighs, I think I read 940 pounds, and the bucket loader is somewhere near 500, and the tractor alone, I can't remember that weight, 11 to 1400 pounds. So it's pretty heavy, but it goes through the mud good. Anyway, the video is about to end. I'm just putting all this stuff in, and I really appreciate everybody watching my videos and that kind of thing. And so I want you to have a nice day, and hope you tell your friends, you know, to subscribe to my channel too. There'll be more interesting videos coming out soon, and I appreciate you all watching. So anyway, I don't know what I'm saying here. I think I was just saying that it's getting cold. So anyway, y'all have a nice day, and I'll catch up with you guys.